Hey! Sorry, is that too Highschool? So, it is Friday, and for which you join me in my very comfy bed, complete with anime husbando. So I can just sort of like... and this shirt is appropriate. So today I wanted to talk about a new Fujo manga which I just recently got my hands on because it has only just come out in English as far as I'm aware, and that is this. So this manga is called The High School Life of a Fudanshi. For those who don't know, a Fudanshi is essentially just the male version of a Fujoshi. And this is by one of my all-time favourite mangakas, the wonderful Michinoku Atami. So you may have heard me recommend some of her manga before. She will definitely appear in a monthly yaoi recommendations in the future, and I know I did haul some of her stuff on my last yaoi manga haul, which will be like up here somewhere. This, however, is a little bit different. So this is not a yaoi. It's not even a BL. It's just sort of a Fujo Fudanshi themed slice of life type comedy, and it's very good. I wouldn't be here talking about it if it wasn't, but I just wanted to recommend this immediately because it's so fresh out there. It hasn't been around for very long. Essentially, the story follows Ryo, who is our titular Fudanshi, and he's a high school boy, not like all the other high school boys. Essentially, he's a closet Fudanshi, but basically all of his friends know, and so it's just sort of day-to-day little 4-panel sketches, like 3 to 4 panels of just random funny moments that happen, that occur to the Fudanshi. And a lot of them you will find familiar, including trying to buy things, trying to explain to your friends your obsession, but specifically from the perspective of a Fudanshi and not a Fujoshi. Because girls can kind of get away with it, which is unfair for our Fudanshi brothers. That's basically what the gist of this manga is. Even though a lot of the sketches are like separate from each other, they do continue chronologically from start to finish. Characters that are introduced come back and relationships are maintained and that whole sort of thing that makes this a bit more than just, say, someone posting little snapshots. Rather, it's a cohesive story, but told very differently to what I am used to when it comes to reading a manga. So as you can see from the back, there are a whole host of cute and colourful characters, all of whom you would never meet in real life. This is a very silly, fun manga at times. And the thing is, this is not explicit in any way. I don't think there is anything in here that would even raise this above like a PG at all. I mean, there's some suggestion occasionally, but that's as far as anything goes, at least for this volume. And even though that's not what I'm normally about, I do like it. It is just like reading a nice, fun, fresh... I suppose it's kind of in the slice of life things, like the same sort of vein as things like Lucky Star, but starring a Fudanshi and his friends. So obviously, because this is by Michinoku Atami, the artwork is lovely. It's a little bit stylized sometimes. Do I want to say that? Yeah, a little bit. You get like the occasional chibi, you get the occasional like comedic expression rather than a realistic expression occasionally, which you do still sometimes see in her yaoi, but it's much more pronounced in this because this is sort of a fun for everyone type manga, and I feel like even if you're not 100% sure whether you're into all the sort of yaoi things, it's still fun. Like, I feel like even people who are not Fujoshi or Fudanshi will enjoy this. So initially it is set out much like a manga, and this is kind of how I expected it to be, but after a little while it sort of, I don't want to say devolves, but it changes to be more like this. So there's a title and then 4 panels, and then a title for this scenario, and then the 4 panels. And they're not necessarily related. They don't, it's not like this page then leads on to this page. Each 4 panels is separate, but sometimes they can lead on. I just think that ultimately it's very fun, and it has some quite clever moments. I do always like this mangaka's artwork. I think she's a fantastic and like definitely one of my favourite just for her sort of style. It's, for me at least, it's immediately recognisable. And I think this is, I could be wrong, but I think this is the first of her works to ever be translated into English for like a general release, because everything I've ever read, I own some of her work in Japanese, but I've only ever been able to read it online through fan translations. So I feel like, at least for me, because I'm a fan, I feel like this is really good because it means that there's been a broadening, like a readership base for one of my favourite mangakas, and this is in fact a series. This is volume 1, but volume 2 and 3 are already available for pre-order in English. 1 is due out, I think volume 2 is due out at the end of this year, and volume 3 is due out early 2018. So I kind of can't wait to see where this series goes. It's quite tame at the moment. It's still very fun, but you can see like little situations building occasionally, and there are things that you want to get answered, and I wonder if it's going to, I don't know, I wonder if at any point it's going to pick up a specific story, or whether it's just going to be sort of like Lucky Star, that just, it never has a specific plot, it just is still great but sticks very much to the slice of life thing. So for all my Fujoshi and Fudanshi friends who are looking for something to read that's light and not necessarily a yaoi, if you want to read something in the same vein but that you can read on public transport, I would absolutely highly recommend this. I kind of wonder if maybe this would ever get an anime adaptation. I feel like it's the kind of light-hearted, entertaining thing that might get maybe we get like a 12-episode run when all 3 volumes are out, or possibly more if there are more volumes coming. I could definitely see it happening, just little skits and sketches that I think translate really well even into English. The situations aren't based specifically on any sort of cultural Japanese understanding. There are occasional little tidbits, I guess Fujo slang and stuff like that, but if you're reading this you're probably already at least familiar with that sort of stuff. So I just kind of wanted to give this a shout out really. It's not so much a review, it's more just me sort of being here and saying, hey, this thing exists and I don't know anyone talking about it, and I really liked it, and it's from one of my favourite mangakas, and it's themed nicely for my channel, because we all know that I do love my yaoi here. And while this is not yaoi, it is like, it sort of slips into that category. So there you go. I feel like, have I been holding this book up the whole time? This comes highly recommended from me if you're just looking for something like a nice easy read, something to read on the train, maybe something to just chill you out before bed, something just easy and fun, from one Fujoshi to another, or possibly to a Fudanshi. So I would just like to recommend this to those of you who may not have heard about it. So guys, that's it for this video. Have any of you read this, or are any of you now planning to read this? Do let me know in the comments section down below. Also, do I have any Fudanshi followers out there? I know a few of you do exist, but are there any more of you? I would love to know. So guys, remember to leave a like or a favourite if you enjoyed. Do check out the rest of my channel for previous videos like this one. Subscribe to see more in the future, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!